Hey there, it's Beth, and I'm up on the Crafty Maven Getaway for Art Party Friday. And today I have a canvas for you. I believe this canvas is about a 6 by 8. And what I'm doing is I'm taking that heavy gesso from Prima. I love this gesso, but it's a really thick gesso, so you can get a lot of great texture with it. And I'm putting it on really, really thick on this canvas so that one, I have a lot of gesso on here. Two, so that I have a lot of texture. And the reason why I wanted a lot of gesso is because I have these Faber-Castell cards that you can use to create texture, and I love them because you can get a lot of great texture with these. They're a lot of fun to work with, and I use them on a lot of different mixed media projects. The next thing I'm doing is I'm using the Prima Art Stones, but the little tiny ones, and all I did was I sprinkled them onto the gesso while the gesso was still wet, and that made them stick. So my art stones are stuck down. I didn't have to mix them with any other medium, like matte medium, for instance. You can mix them and then spread them out on a layout, but because my gesso was still wet and it's a heavy gesso, I didn't need anything else. The next thing that I'm using on here for some texture, this is some drywall tape that I just picked up at like Home Depot, and I'm sticking it down in certain areas onto the canvas, and I'm really pressing firmly. Some of my gesso wasn't fully dry, so that was good because I was able to get it stuck down better, but I also added some gesso on top of them just to make sure that they were going to stay there. I didn't want to add too much gesso on top of them because I didn't want to lose the texture that they were giving, and I felt that I would lose that texture if I added too much gesso on top of them. So that is why I only applied a little bit. Let's see, my next step is to grab some Lindy Stamp Gang spray. If you haven't tried these at home, I so recommend them. I am in love with their spray mists, and every chance I get a little bit of extra money, my extra money has been going to Lindy's because their sprays are magnificent. So this one is, I think it's Merci Beaucoup Mint. I don't know. I will leave, in the description box, I'll leave a link to the Lindy's products because I don't remember the names of all of them. The next one I used was this Heidi Swap one, and this is a sweet mint, and you can see that it is definitely a lot darker than the Lindy's mint. And then this last one, oh goodness, I can't remember the name of that either, but based on the inspiration piece and all of the mint and the green going on in the inspiration piece, these colors worked really, really well. And another thing that I have learned is that my Ranger heat gun does not put out enough air to really push the liquids around. So you're gonna see in a minute that I end up grabbing my other heat gun, which is the Martha Stewart heat gun, and this one really does what I need it to do. My go-to look here was to have it darker in one area and lighter in the other area, and I wasn't getting that look with the Ranger heat gun because I wasn't able to push the liquid where I wanted to. Also, I found that the spray mists were getting trapped underneath the drywall tape, and that wasn't going to be anything pretty either if I didn't get those to dry. I do this song and dance quite a bit, trying to get the effect and the look that I want. That you know, spraying, drying, spraying again, drying again. But that's what mixed media is all about. It's all about layers, and it doesn't matter how many layers you put on as long as you're happy with the end result. And I have to admit, I was quite happy with the end result of this. Especially with all of the texture that I ended up getting. But I was really happy with getting some of those areas on the canvas a darker green, and some of them the mint color that I have been loving lately. So after this is all dry, I go and I grab some shimmers, the yellow shimmers paste. It's the Dazzlers paste. And then I also grabbed some of the golden modeling paste. And I did this because you can see how bright and vibrant that yellow is, and that was definitely not the yellow I was going for. I was really going for a pale yellow. And even after mixing it with my molding paste, it was still way too bright for me. You can see, I mean, the shimmers, you know, paste is gorgeous in itself, but it wasn't the color that I needed it to be. And the reason why I chose the Dazzlers is because of the sparkle that you get with them. And you know, everybody loves a little bit of sparkle. So what you see me doing here is I didn't want to add more molding paste because, you know, I already have way too much going on here for what I need. So I grabbed my Dylusions white acrylic paint and I mixed that in. And now I am happy. That is the pale, I mean, that yellow was the perfect color. That is exactly what I was looking for. I have this Donna Downey's stencil. It's a floral. I don't know the name of it, but I did pick it up off of Blitsy. I don't know if they still have this stencil, but I know that they still sell Donna Downey stencils over there on Blitsy. And this stencil was and has been one that I have been using a lot lately. I really like the floral. And I love how this came out, but I was not too happy with the fact that my petals seem to have gotten lost in the stencil a bit. And then, you know, obviously waste not, want not. I could not let all of this wonderful paste concoction go to waste. So I went ahead and threw it in my Dylusions art journal, and it will live there until I am ready to do something with that. Obviously, when you're working with the paste, you definitely need to clean off your area and your stencil right away. Otherwise, you will not be able to use your stencil anymore because you will have a caked on paste stuck there forever. So I went and washed that off, and then I came back and I really wanted my petals to stand out more. So what I did was I grabbed a paintbrush and some Prussian blue acrylic paints. This is by Liquitex. It's the fluid one, and I just put a drop on my mat and outlined all of the petals in the Prussian blue, which also came from the inspiration piece. Be sure to go ahead and subscribe to the Crafty Maven YouTube channel, and thank you so much for watching Art Party Friday. Bye.